In this video, we're going to interpret the relationship between the velocity function and the acceleration function. It says the position of a car traveling along a highway is given by the function s of t equals negative 2t cubed over 3 plus 3t squared plus 20t minus 3, where the time has to be greater than or equal to 0 is measured in seconds and s is measured in meters. On what intervals is the car slowing down? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the velocity and the acceleration equations. To find the velocity equation, we know that the velocity equation is going to equal s prime of t. And s prime of t, if I take the derivative on this function here, I'd bring the 3 to the front. The 3's would cancel, so I'd get negative 2t squared. Right, the 3 comes to the front, cancels with that 3, so I get negative 2t squared, plus 2 coming to the front, that'd be 6t, and then that'd be just plus 20. So this is our velocity equation. Now our acceleration equation is going to equal v prime of t, which is equal to the double prime of t, which if I take this derivative, I end up with negative 4t plus 6. Now I want to find where the time for the velocity, I want to find where the velocity actually equals 0, because that's when we might have a switch in either going forwards or going backwards. And then I also want to find when the acceleration actually equals 0, because we also might have a switch in acceleration. So I'll set this equation equal to 0, so the acceleration is at 0. So I'm checking when the acceleration is at 0. This happens at, if I subtract 6, I get negative 6 equals negative 4t divided by negative 4. So at 1.5 seconds for t. They might use 3 over 2 for the fraction version of that. Do the same thing for the velocity. I set the velocity equal to 0. Negative 2t squared plus 6t plus 20. We're going to divide each piece by negative 2. And we get 0 equal to t squared minus 3t minus 10. Which factors to, we would have t minus 5, t plus 2 equals 0. Let's do ZPP. So we end up with t is equal to 5 when we set that equal to 0. And we set this equal to 0, we get t is equal to negative 2, but we can't have a negative time, so that one's gone. So at 5 seconds, our velocity is 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test from 0 to 5, because remember our time has to be 0, greater than or equal to 0. So 0 to 5, and then obviously toward infinity here. So I'm going to pick a number in here, and I'm going to see, is our velocity positive or negative? So let's plug in a value of 1 for this equation. If I plug in a value of 1 to our velocity equation, I would get negative 2 times 1 squared plus 6 times 1 plus 20. So negative 2 times 1 squared, that's negative 2. All right, we're getting a positive value here. Okay, and then we're going to look at after 5, so let's plug in 6. So negative 2, 6 squared plus 6 times 6 plus 20. And this would be 36, so that'd be negative 72 plus 36 plus 20. That's going to be a negative number right there. So this is a negative velocity there. And let's do the same thing over here with acceleration. So acceleration is at 1.5 seconds, 0. And then 0 is our time. And then we're checking toward infinity. Let's plug a number in here like 1. If I plug in 1 into the equation, I get negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4 plus 6, so I get a positive acceleration in this region. And let's plug in 2. If I plug in 2, that'd be negative 8 plus 6. That'd be a negative acceleration here. Now I'm going to put these two things on the same number line. So from 0 to 1.5, and then 1.5 to 5, and then 5 to infinity. Now, I'm going to map acceleration on top. Yeah, let's map, we'll map velocity on top, acceleration on the bottom. So the velocity from 0 to 1.5 is positive. The velocity from 1.5 to 5 is positive because it's 0 to 5, positive there. And then afterwards it's negative. Now for the acceleration, it's positive from 0 to 1.5. Then it's negative from 1.5 to 5 and from 5 to infinity. Now, it says, on what intervals is the car slowing down? So slowing down means that either you're going forward and you're hitting the brake, or you're in reverse and you're hitting the brake. So what we're looking for is we're looking for opposite signs for velocity and acceleration. Well, in this case right here, we have a velocity that's positive and we have an acceleration that's negative. So this would be moving forward and braking. That's what this spot would be right here. So from 1.5 to 5 seconds, I'm going to write that better, 1.5 seconds to 5 seconds, we are slowing down.